I do call him Black Jesus.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I would never call him that.
That's disgusting. If you eat,
No.
if you eat Hershey's bar for fun, you like golf balls in your mouth.
Really weird. So, I'm a really simple guy when it comes to women. What is wrong with you?
I ask myself that every day.
I don't know what the hell happened from the series before to the series with the Celtics.
It's my biggest conversation, and I hope we go viral with this one.
Princess in the Frog.
You're drunk. You should not be drinking. You should not be drinking this early in the day, bro.
Buddy, I still got 30 minutes. I start drinking.
Should have started.
Did you get that? Did you?
Yeah. Should have started.
Hey, I'm leaving that in the video, bro. I'm leaving that Well, I know I need to send you. Hey, where's my camera? Hey, Pete, yep. Hey, Pete. As soon as we said that, he said put me on game. That is good evening, morning, afternoon, after work, something. Welcome to your favorite show, your favorite podcast. I see they're already shaking their heads. Your favorite show, your favorite podcast, Gumball Sports Machine, the show in which we love, we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, we are positive. As you can already see, I got my dogs with me. I got my boy David D'Lo, David Largo, aka co-host D'Lo, in the building. D'Lo, how are you feeling on this very nice night, sir?
I just want to apologize to everyone that may have been waiting because I know we are indeed about 40 minutes late, and there is only one individual to blame, and we will not name who that individual is. So
Yeah, where'd you go? Where'd you?
Yeah.
No.
yeah,
No. Oh, okay.
so
Oh, all right.
you know,
I didn't say
Anywho, and I got, of course, my dog, my OG, the wise man is what we like to call him on here on this show because of all the wisdom that he provides. So that is triple OG, Unc Tone. What's going
What's
on?
happening, Gumball?
Chilling like a villain, living like Larry.
Hey,
know what I mean?
bird?
lobster.
Larry the Lobster.
Yeah,
Are you familiar, Tone?
It's SpongeBob.
Let's get a round of applause for Unc. Round of applause for Unc. That was fantastic.
but you kind of can't be Larry the Lobster because you don't lift.
Damn.
I'm just glad you had to point that out, didn't you, D-Lo? Was that necessary, or is that
The Basicos.
I don't know. I just know that Larry is pretty buff and swole, and you're just don't know if you're that. You know what I mean?
Damn.
okay? Wow, now I feel really good about myself, D-Lo. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I don't lift. I don't need to lift. I need to be nimble. Okay, on the basketball court, I need to be nimble. I need to be able to slither in and out. You know what I mean? All right, let's move on. We'll be right back. Okay, fellas, a lot to talk about, but I do want to start off with the news that I wanted to announce today. We've been taking a couple weeks to set it up, but you guys all know the extension, the other show that we have, Tone Show, called The Wave. That is the show that we're a little bit more serious. Like to talk about things. More, Tone, how would you describe it? More like that matter a little bit more, like, than sports, like more
Life.
more life. Yeah, more life.
Couldn't find a word. He was
find it.
struggling. We should have let him struggle through that.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I talk for a living, and well, it didn't work out very well. But I do want to announce we are extending Gumball Sports Machine, the Gumball Network, a little bit further. D'Lo and I are coming out with a podcast of our own as well. We are coming out. It is called The Whack Show. Here is the logo for that. It is The Whack Show. It is the white and black show, of course, me being the brother, me being black, and D'Lo being white, which is the WH in there. So that is that show. Our first episode will be out very, very soon. That show is which, D'Lo and I can be stupid and dumb and show our idiocy and hopefully make a few people laugh.
And talk about our taste in women.
Yeah, hey. Boy, the show's going to get a little freaky deaky, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. Hey, nasty.
Hey, you never know. Triple OG Tone might make a guest appearance on the show.
There's no might. There's no might about it.
I don't know. The way he's looking, he's like, I don't know if I want to be on that show. Talk about
Wacky
freaky
Wave
and
show?
geeky and yeah.
Wacky Wave show for an episode.
Wacky Wave. Whack X8 Wave. Look at that. Listen, so didn't want to shout that out. We are active on all platforms. We are, there's a TikTok, there's a Twitter, there's an Instagram, there's a YouTube. Go follow, go like, go subscribe, go and look out for the first episode. That will be out here in a few weeks. So definitely want to hear it once again is the new logo for that show. That will be out very, very, very soon. Look at my beard, man. It looks a lot fuller than it does in real life.
Yeah, there's one thing, a part of that picture that looks a little
suspicious.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna talk about it.
I just noticed it too. I didn't think.
Talk about
it.
Man,
it's fine. It's
all
right. It's all right.
I just noticed it too. Oh well, that's a little awkward, isn't it? It's okay.
You want to know what's funny is that I noticed it the moment you sent me them, earlier, and I just didn't say anything. I felt like I should just let you have your moment.
There's something there that is no longer there. Is what?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Part of the Whack Show. Here we go.
Part of the Whack Show. So once again, YouTube. I'm going to put it in the comments sometime. So YouTube, X / Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on all those platforms. We will be on there very, very soon, as well as, again, as you guys know, the wave, as we are still absolutely keeping up with. So, again, just expanding the brand, fellas. I'm trying to get our name and face out there so that people can get their days enlightened by our beautiful.
We gotta put with the Gumo one on here.
That's a work in progress.
You got the picture? I thought you already had the picture made. That's the.
I do. I think there's still a few more tweaks that I want to make to it.
Okay.
A few more tweaks for the new.
Hush. Let me hush.
Oh no, yeah, it's all good because new logo coming soon. Okay, so new logo for GSM coming soon. There's still a few more tweaks, and so we're gonna use that logo and put it on a T-shirt. Boy, my face on a T-shirt. God, we're gonna try and give it out to people. I don't know how many people are gonna want my ugly mug on a T-shirt, but hopefully we're able to get those out.
I'll wear your face on a T-shirt.
If we can't get them out here, we're gonna ship them to Africa. I know they're gonna love them in Africa.
Yeah.
See, there you go. We go send them back home. That's okay. We go send them back home. That's all right. That.
I kind of forgot. I'm all from the motherland.
See, there you go.
You got relatives. You got support out there.
Relatives is insane. It is true though. It is accurate. Boys, we got a lot to talk about. Okay, now that is out there in the news on the way, let's talk about the news of the day, fellas. Let's talk about Giannis. There's some. I
think there's some new news for the news.
My ears are ringing, fellas. My ears are ringing. There's a whole bunch of news when it comes to Giannis. Now, the big news of the day is that him and his team are working with the Milwaukee Bucks to discuss to see if Milwaukee is the best fit for them or if elsewhere is the best fit for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, there was a little asterisk put on that just a few minutes ago. He was hurt in his game tonight, has a calf injury. We'll discuss that here in a little bit. But fellas, Tone, Giannis, this is not the first time we've talked about it on the show. You've mentioned it multiple times in the past. It's just now coming to fruition some sort of way. When you look at Giannis and his career with the Bucks, do you believe the best fit is with the Bucks, or do you think it's with a team elsewhere?
I'd say right now it's probably elsewhere. You look at what happens to NBA players at later parts of their career. They look for immediate success. They don't really have the time to stick around for that. So you say curve for an NBA team to get better. And they don't have a lot of cap space in Milwaukee, and I don't think that they have the players who are going to transition into stars or significant role players in the near future. I also think that sometimes relationships end. I think you've brought that up before. Sometimes you try to hold on to that situation and it just gets a little more messy. And it's unfortunate because he has been one of those players, kind of like Steph Curry, who's held down that franchise his entire career. He did bring them a championship, and he's still a top 5, if not 3 player in the NBA. So it's going to be hard to let go of that caliber player. But I think that he deserves another shot somewhere in likely in the West Coast. It's not too often that a team lets a player of his caliber go to an op. I'll say I'm not looking forward to him going into the East if he actually does stay in the East. That's not something I would want to see as a Boston fan. But yeah, I think it'll be cool to see Giannis in a new uniform. See what type of player he really is. A lot of players can't have that much success on multiple teams.
First of all, let's not put that into the universe. I don't want him anywhere in the West. Nowhere. I don't want any part of him.
What if he goes to Phoenix?
Okay, well then we're talking a little different.
Yeah.
Then we have a different conversation. that's just that's just how the world works. But D'Lo, Giannis, not exactly asking out, but like Tone mentioned, maybe the relationship between Giannis and the Bucks is just kind of fading, and it's not worth holding on to anymore. I'm going to ask you kind of the same thing I asked Tone. Is he better off staying in Milwaukee, or does he need a change of scenery?
No, he definitely needs a change of scenery. Whether that happens or not, we're gonna find out. But I mean, when you look at the Bucks as constructed, they're not a winning roster. And the thing is that they suck. It's just what it is. They suck. They are 2-5 without Giannis, and we remember when they had him before he got injured for a few games. They were winning games. They were at the top of the Eastern Conference, and now they're sitting here at 9-13. I mean, there's not a whole lot outside of Giannis that you can really look forward to if you're in Milwaukee. Obviously, I gotta shout out Ryan Rollins because he can hoop. And obviously they signed Miles Turner, but outside of that, there's really nothing on this roster that screams contender. And so I just think that, especially for Giannis, because he's now 30, he doesn't have a whole lot of, I'm talking prime dominant years left in him. I think he's maybe got 4 at this caliber of this MVP caliber. And so I think that if you're Giannis and you care more about winning than being loyal right now, I think the best place is elsewhere, because it's clear that the Bucks are not trying to get a roster competent enough to put around him.
With Giannis, now the correct answer is the answer that both of you guys gave. Is the correct answer is he probably needs a change of scenery. He needs to go elsewhere if he wants to win. If he wants to win. Now, if he wants to make all the money in the world, if he wants to get the keys to Milwaukee, if he wants to get all this love, all this attention in Milwaukee, the right decision is to stay in Milwaukee. But if you want to compete, this team is not going to be competitive, at least not for a championship no longer. The East has gotten a lot better. Now, they're still not amazing. Obviously, it's not the West. But that says a lot, even to what Milwaukee has done. 9-13 on the year. They have not looked good. They've shown spurts. D'Lo, you mentioned Ryan Rollins, who's really, really been playing some good basketball. Their offseason acquisition in Miles Turner he's been okay. He hasn't been world beating. He hasn't been, some standout guy that's played really well. I do want to say, though, let's talk about where he could go and where the best fits would be. D'Lo, now, again, Tone mentioned it earlier. It would be tough for Milwaukee to trade him to another team in the East just because they're going to have to face him, another 3 or 4 times a year and giving their ops an advantage. Or is there a team in the West that has the cap space, that has the opportunity to give up what they need to give up for Giannis, but still keep their core intact to compete for a championship?
Well, I'm gonna stick in the East really quickly because I only think that there are 2 teams in the East that can even enter this sweepstake for them, and that is the New York Knicks, and not to be biased, but the Miami Heat. I think that those are the only 2 teams that have the capital to move, heaven and earth for him and still keep some semblance of a team around him. Do I think that this happens? Probably not. I think if he is going to get traded, he goes out west. But the thing is that any trade of this caliber is going to involve multiple teams. We're talking 3, maybe 4, or even 5 teams. And so this isn't going to be some straight up swap between 2 teams. It's just not how it's going to work. But I think it's more likely that he goes out west. And I really have maybe 3 or 4 teams that have this golden opportunity. I think the Timberwolves are one. They've been shopping Randall ever since the season started, really. I think Golden State is another one. Obviously, the comments with Jimmy Kuminga isn't looking to be very happy. They have some young pieces. I think they could be in play. Obviously, we mentioned in the group chat, but the other 2 are both the Spurs and the Thunder. They just have so much capital and assets to go get him. The Thunder, I think, is the least likely just because they are who they are, but they are still indeed a possibility. But really, those are the only really 6 teams that I can see even competing in the sweepstake.
Tone, with Giannis, this is a 2-parter. What do you believe will end up happening with Giannis? And if he does end up getting traded, where does he go?
Well, first I'll add 2 other teams that I believe have, if not capital now, they will soon, and that's the Brooklyn Nets, which I think is also unfortunate because they don't have really the roster, but they will have the capital. And then there's the Detroit Pistons. I think they have more of a fit as far as roster. They would have to give up somebody worth value. But as long as they can keep Cade, I think you can surround Cade and Giannis with enough to win, especially in the East. I also want to add that I think the best fit for him in the West would be OKC. They already have a lot of structure. They have so many pieces over there that I don't think that they would have to give up. They'd only have to give up one of the 3 of their 3-headed monster, but be it J-Dub, Chet, and SGA. And I feel like, they're obviously not going to give up SGA. So if you give up one of the other 2, I still feel like you're a championship contender in the West. So that would be my obvious pick in the West Coast. But I honestly think that he's going to end up staying in Milwaukee. I wanted to ask you guys, do you think this is going to taint his career in the future, being that he will have won that one championship, but he's ultimately going to have limited success from here on out? But I also think that if he doesn't stay in Milwaukee, he ends up in Miami. That was the other team that I felt as though he could end up with. They have Bam, they have Ware, they have Hero, they have a lot of other. They have Hawkwest, who doesn't really get a lot of time. They have value, and so I think it'd be interesting. That's a little bit of a powerhouse. You still would lack defense on the back end, or your backcourt, should I say? But it'd be interesting. Miami's a fun place. I think I've mentioned this before, that I think that some of the success for teams is where you live, where you're comfortable at. Miami is a very comfortable place for mature athletes. You don't party too much, but the weather's enough for you to have fun. The winter time, it isn't freezing. You watched Wade, you watched LeBron. Those guys enjoyed living in Miami. I think, and I also think they have a good structure as far as the team health. Like they take very good care of their players down there. They've got a kind of a system like Phoenix, to where they have good physical trainers and stuff like that. So I think it'd be good for Giannis to have that surrounding him. But it'd be interesting to see who they do let go. But I do think Ware is becoming a good enough player, and he can stretch the floor to allow Giannis, if they had to let Bam go. And it would stink, because Bam has been there putting in so much work. You would want to see him get some success in Miami. But Giannis is a better version of Bam. Much, much better version of Bam. But this is going to be fun to talk about for the next I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even longer than that.
Yeah, trade season has arrived. The trade season is definitely upon us. I'm going to mention two teams in the East that I don't think a lot of people have mentioned in terms of the trade possibility.
I know you're going.
of these teams. The first one,
No.
the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks. I think the Hawks have the trade assets. They have a lot of their picks. They have they have guys to match salaries. You have them. You could get rid of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I know. I understand you just signed him to a 4-year deal, but for Giannis, I can't imagine you wouldn't be willing to get rid of him. You have the Nickeil Alexander-Walkers. You have the Onyeka Okongwu, who is a very good piece. And now, again, if you're Milwaukee, you're trading Giannis, you are obviously looking to rebuild. You're looking to start over. You're looking to find your next Giannis. You're looking to find your next star to build around. Now, obviously, none of these guys from the Hawks are going to be that guy. But if the Hawks give up Okongwu, if they give up Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I know he's a number one overall pick, but Zachary Risachet, who hasn't been number one overall pick-ish.
I don't think Milwaukee would want that.
Like,
they'd rather have the John Johnson kid.
If you're Milwaukee, you're demanding Jalen Johnson, and if not, he's not going to Atlanta.
No way they give up. Atlanta has a lot more pieces they could give up, along with a bunch of gang of first round picks and second round picks.
He's going for 5 first round picks and pick swaps. Yeah, like that's gonna happen.
But I think the Hawks would be able to get this done without giving up Jalen Johnson. And in my humble opinion, if some of these guys, if Luka, you traded Anthony Davis for, that's a kind of a different story. But I think they'd be able to get this done without giving up Jalen Johnson. So you have that core of Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Giannis, Dyson Daniels. Like, you have guys who can go make plays and play on both ends of the floor, aside from Trae Young, obviously. But
yeah, I don't see them getting Giannis without giving up one of Jalen Johnson or Trae Young. I don't see it happening. And even then, Trae Young just doesn't have the value.
No, he doesn't. The other team I was thinking of The Toronto Raptors.
Up north.
The Toronto Raptors.
Who are rolling, by the way.
Who are playing some very number 2 in the East behind obviously the scorching hot Detroit Pistons, 15-7. And they might be that because now they are playing some very good basketball right now.
Mhm.
I think we're all in agreement. And the Toronto Raptors are not serious Eastern Conference title contenders. They're not, not going to get to the finals. There are a lot of teams that are a little bit more experienced, a little bit more talented, a little bit deeper than the Toronto Raptors. But if you go out and get that guy, now you have Scotty Barnes, you have RJ Barrett, you have Brandon Ingram. Listen, the notorious BI3, side note, might be the best nickname in the NBA. Just want to point that out. But you have those 3 guys. You get rid of RJ Barrett. You get rid of Emmanuel quickly. Like, you get rid of some of these guys to go pair Scotty Barnes with Brandon Ingram. Now, not going to have a lot of shooting. All 3 of those guys can play defense. They're both two-way. But Giannis, I think, would be another very interesting piece. To Tone's point, Toronto is sneaky wealthy. Like the Blue Jays, it's the same thing with the Toronto Blue Jays. They got a lot of money down there. The Toronto Raptors also have a lot of money, and you've seen them be willing to go and make a big move, a.k.a. Kawhi Leonard. And what happened when they did that? They went and won a championship. Now, they had to build around him, but once they built around him, in the 1 year that he was there, he went and won a championship. So again, Giannis is one of those impact guys like Kawhi that can go and win you a championship, especially if you build correctly around him, like the Milwaukee Bucks did, and they got a championship out of it. So those are 2 teams in the East that I'm really looking for. Again, in the West, you guys both mentioned Oklahoma City. I genuinely, what they have going right now, I can't imagine they break up the chemistry, break up the camaraderie that they've built to go trade for Giannis. Now, I think he'd fit in very well, but I don't think they would give up what they would need to in order to give up in order to get Giannis. The Timberwolves are very interesting. I think they do have the pieces. Now, how much they would have to lose is what worries me a little bit. Now, you'd have to give up either Jaden McDaniels or Naz Reid. You'd have to give up one of those guys. You'd have to give up a bunch of picks. Right. And so to that point, it's tough to see how impactful that trade would be on the core of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Aside from that, it's hard for me to actually imagine one of these teams in the West being able to trade for him. I don't think the Warriors are going to do it. They just traded for Jimmy Butler last year. The Spurs are the only other team that could possibly do it. They have the assets to go do it, but again, I don't know if they want to try that out. But that's just my thoughts on that. Now, he did get an injury tonight, Tone, and we were talking a little bit before the show. Do you believe this kind of, well, I'll use your word. Do you believe this depreciates his value? Do you believe that bargaining, like people who are looking to trade for Giannis, do you think that they're going to use this against the Milwaukee Bucks to try and give up less for Giannis?
Of course, it's only right. If someone was you walked into the Fry's or a grocery store and the cap was unsealed on the last milk, but you wanted milk, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm not paying full price for this. It's just this is unfortunate. I don't know if it's fortunate for Giannis, depending on how badly he wants out. Again, we haven't even heard that be the conversation. But if he wants out, it could be fortunate for him because now a team can offer so much, and the Bucks be like, all right, we'll take it because we know that we can't get any more right now for Giannis. But it's unfortunate for Milwaukee because they're in a similar situation that the Pelicans have been with Zion. You don't want to shop Zion because he's been unhealthy. He has not reached the peak of his value, so you can get the maximum back. And they continue to hold their cards, and they're just losing and losing and losing. So it's really unfortunate. And once there's an actual rumor of a player wanting to be out, and Maul, you've kind of experienced this. I mean, it was fortunate when Phoenix got back. Honestly, Phoenix was able to to maneuver and get some valuable pieces back. But once it was known that KD wanted out, he depreciated his value.
Yeah.
You know, they could have gotten more if that rumor never came out, and they've just offered him up, and someone's like, "Oh, we can get KD," and they're like, "Oh, keep all the chips on the table, put the chips on the table." Versus KD's at the door knocking, like, "Yo, help me out," and they're like, "Oh, well, we got these 2 bags of chips, we got some hot sauce, and a chicken wing. There you go." But again, it's as a I only played in high school, but as a player, you're like, man, get me out of here. And now this makes it a little bit easier for him. But as an owner, you've got to be shaking your head, throwing a fit right now, because you just lost all of your cards have been shown. There's a mirror behind you, and everyone sees your hand.
And to that point, not to derail too much, but that's why I'm so shocked that the Los Angeles Lakers didn't get way more for Luka Doncic. I'm sorry, the Dallas Mavericks didn't get way more for Luka Doncic. It's not like he asked out. It's not like he went to them and said, "I want to leave." He wanted to retire Maverick, and they got Anthony Davis and 1 single first-round pick. That's the part that shocked me so much about that. And so now that again, Tony, you mentioned KD. Once KD mentioned he was out, you knew you had to get rid of him. So they're not going to give you a whole bunch. They're not going to give you Jabari Smith and Amen Thompson. They're like, why would I give you that? We know you have to get rid of him. D'Lo, when you look at Giannis, I mean, it's tough to see where the Bucks go from here if they do get rid of him. But I mean, where do the Bucks go from here if they do have to trade Giannis?
I guess it really just depends on what they get back. It's kind of hard to tell the future of Milwaukee because we don't actually know, like, if he gets traded, what are they gonna get? And so I think that's the biggest question mark if you're Milwaukee, because if you're Milwaukee, you're not fielding trade offers for Giannis unless he really wants out. So I'm sure that they don't even know what's out there for him. Obviously, it's going to be a haul. There's going to be a young player of sorts that's potentially franchise altering, but it's not going to be a Giannis. It's not going to be a top 3 basketball player. And I think that's the scary part if you're Milwaukee. But on the other hand, he's only got a year and a half left. He's got the rest of this year and the next year before his player option. And if he really does not want to be in Milwaukee, he will decline the player option and he will walk. So if you're Milwaukee and he really wants out, you have to get any sort of value for him now while you can. The scary part with this injury is that it is non-contact. So there really is no telling what the severity of it will be until we get imaging. So really, I think that's the deterrent right now. If it turns out that it is just that simple calf strain like they reported and he'll be out, a few weeks, then I think all is fine. But we just have to wait and see. There's just so much that's just unclear at the moment to actually speculate on what would be in play.
Yeah, when it comes to the injury, I think unless it's like, unless, God forbid, knock on wood, it's a torn Achilles, I don't think that it depreciates too much. I think personally, I think the Bucks get what they get, this injury or not. I mean, again, if it's a 4 to 6 week injury, they get what they're going to get, whether he was hurt or not. That's and that's what I think. Just because of the player that Giannis is now, if this was a role player, or if this was some 6-man, that's obviously then the tables turn a little bit. Then the story's changed up a little bit. Again, unless this is some 4 to 9 month injury, it's different. And in that case, the Bucks don't trade him. Period. because they wouldn't be able to, because they're not going to get what they want for him. And to your point, D'Lo, he has a year and a half left on his contract, and so then he has a player option, and he can easily walk. So this story is only going to get better. It's only going to improve. They're not improved, but get juicier as we go.
Before we move, because I want to just comment on that. If this is an Achilles, I don't think any team in the NBA would be willing to trade for him until he gets back on the floor.
No,
because you mentioned if it is an Achilles, Milwaukee is still going to get what they get for Giannis, and to that point, I just don't think that is true because of Giannis's play style. An Achilles would probably derail his career.
A torn Achilles? Yeah. That's what I say. I think if he tore his Achilles, again, God forbid, knock on wood, if he tore his Achilles, they don't trade him at all.
Yeah, no.
But again, if this is a 4 to 6 week injury, I think they get the same value that they got whether he's hurt or not.
Okay, I misunderstood that.
Doesn't a calf strain like almost affect the Achilles?
It could lead to a torn Achilles. That's what KD tore it. And
that's why, and he's had this injury in the past.
Yeah. So the Achilles tendon is what connects the calf from the knee to the heel of your foot. And so if you have a strain, you have essentially just a lot going on right there in that area. And so like Maul mentioned, when KD played in 2019, he was dealing with the calf strain. Tyrese Halliburton, he was dealing with the calf strain, and it just puts so much on the Achilles that it ruptures, and then you're out for over a year.
And that's why I think, regardless of the 4 to 6 weeks, I hear you, Maul. But teams, you got to think from the other shoe.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that calf strain, and someone who's been dealing with it, you're like, oh, I can see your cards. And it's just a different conversation. But this is gonna be fun, man. One thing though, again, I brought this up before the offseason, and I mentioned that because the Bucks were not going to be championship contenders, they should have gotten rid of them then, and they would have had more. They would have had better cards, a better hand,
a lot more leeway.
And I pride your team for having the success that they're having right now. Phoenix Suns they're playing better than we anticipated. But this is the same conversation for Devin Booker. If he were to get hurt, it's going to be painful for you Suns fans because he would be depreciating his value every single day. But, I mean, who wants to see their favorite player, walk? It would be the same way for Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown were to walk. I would feel the same way. And, Jason Tatum is dealing with an Achilles at this very moment. So I understand it.
Before we move on, because I feel like we're at the end of this conversation, I saved a tweet of a hypothetical Giannis trade that I thought was the most interesting of the ones that I've seen. And so I wanted to bring it up for the group, especially because it involves your team, Jamal Gummo.
Oh, no. Here we go.
So in this hypothetical trade between the New York Knicks, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Phoenix Suns, New York would receive Giannis, Dylan Brooks, and Grayson Allen. I'm going to stop right there. Maul.
I don't like it.
Dylan Brooks has been really good this season.
I don't like it.
No, already?
I don't like it.
All right.
Now, again, the return has to. I have not heard the return. Off of that, I don't like it.
Okay, here we go. It only gets worse because I'm reading Milwaukee next. Milwaukee would get Jalen Green, OG Anunoby, Mark Williams, and then it says multiple first and seconds from unspecified teams. Don't know who those unspecified teams are.
Who's our GM? Barney? What? Barney the dinosaur? What? Who would ever? Okay, you know what? Let me hear what I got to hear what the Suns get back because I don't want to speak too soon, but that sounds horrible.
The Phoenix Suns would get Karl Anthony Towns and Kyle Kuzma.
And
That's it.
why? Why would I ever?
That's it.
What? Who came up with this? Honestly, who came up with this trade?
The
They must
Kentucky
never have watched
boys.
basketball in their life.
No, hold on. Where did Cat go to college?
Kentucky.
Yeah, the
Kentucky.
Kentucky boys now, right? Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
problem is with the
booking
Kentucky
Cat.
boys. You know, they don't play no doggone defense. And
You guys didn't answer my question, but you can go ahead because I don't think you guys even remember my question. I wanted to know if you guys felt as though if he stayed in Milwaukee, would it tarnish his career as a
if he stayed in Milwaukee,
yeah, you
We'll
give
get
me like
back to it.
20-second answer.
No.
no, it wouldn't. I think it would. I think if he stayed in Milwaukee, that would just be Giannis. Like Giannis is a loyal dude. Now is that point really, stretching a little bit here with all the reports? A little bit, but
I don't think so. Kobe once requested trade from the Lakers. He wanted to go to Chicago.
he did.
We still know him as the franchise guy.
Didn't he win after that?
He did.
And that's where the conversation
did.
differs. Is Giannis is likely not going to win moving forward. There's just too many teams in the East that are getting better.
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know, man. I will say that trade is horrible, though. Why would the Suns ever do that?
Because you got to.
It's just what I saw.
You got to keep the turnstiles. Like, if you're not going to get rid of Booker, you got to make it look good.
But you're giving up Jalen Green, a 23-year-old
That's a lot to give
Jalen
up.
Green, Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams, Grayson Allen, and I'm sure there's a few picks in there.
Because Kuzma don't even count. You just basically trade Cat.
Kuzma is a fifth man. He's just there to make five.
He needs to be a sixth man. I feel like that's where you get his value, is if you make him a sixth man.
Oh my gosh, that was horrible.
That's nasty work, Lo. It's crazy that you saved that one.
All right.
I thought it would be funny because we have the Suns fan too.
That was the worst thing. My ears might be bleeding. That was horrible. Oh my god! I hope
if Devin Booker was watching, he definitely changed the channel.
Oh yeah, he said, "What else is on? What else?" Like, bro, oh my! Like whoever came up with that hypothetical trade needs to delete their Twitter accounts immediately. They need to be banned. All right, let's talk about another future
comment. The comment is crazy in the comment section.
Oh, that's what I forgot to get to that. My fault, Papa Dano. And she would have to be Jonesy from Milk. Hey, Tone, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about it at the time. I wouldn't go call you out or nothing. But Papa Dano, that's all right. Then I had to do that. I would go, hey, dog. If you see the milk the milk cap unscrewed and you still buy it, come on.
Hey, that's what Giannis is
nasty
looking.
work.
Giannis got that injury,
work.
and people still gonna buy it. Like,
nah, hey, Giannis, you can use. And you won't possibly get drugged.
well, if you got them cookies fresh out the oven, and you go to the store, and that's the last milk, you're gonna question yourself. You're gonna be looking around like, is anybody looking?
Just eat the cookies without the milk.
Okay, no.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You gotta have something to drink, though.
No, I mean you do, but you
ain't cookies
don't
and water?
need-
No, okay, yeah, cookies and water is kind of tough. I mean, orange juice, maybe.
Oh,
What
yeah.
are you talking about?
That's a possibility.
I'm just saying you do not need milk to
Y'all are
eat
stressing me
cookies.
out.
You
Y'all
don't need it.
One wants
That's a
cookies
necessity.
and water, the other one's cookies.
No,
and-
it's not. You're telling. Listen and go follow the Wax Show because these are some of the conversations that we would have on that show.
So stupid.
You're telling me right now you cannot eat a cookie if you don't have milk?
It's not happening. I will wait till tomorrow.
And two, you're willing to drink uncapped milk
Okay,
from
so
somebody
you and I need to
else
talk.
to eat your cookie.
If it's the last milk in the joint, and
That's
everything else
unacceptable.
closed,
Oh, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
I can't accept it, Tone.
no,
You're
people was
telling
out
me
here. People was
it's
out
life-
here licking ice cream, man, and I was still eating ice cream. I was like, I was just praying to the Lord.
So
I hope they ain't get mine.
So you came on
That's the
this show.
thing. You could just get some ice cream and put it on a cookie. You do not have to have no
But
uncapped
that's what I'm
milk.
saying. Like a lot of ice creams don't have that plastic joint where you got to rip it back. Some of them are just you just take the top off, and people were going in grocery stores and just taking the top
Oh,
off. You remember during COVID when those videos were popping out, and
I know.
I was
And
going in
Tone,
the
and you
grocery
just
store.
But Tone, you just said uncapped
You just
milk.
no. Hold on. Side note: you just admitted to still eating ice cream when that story was going around. There was COVID. It wasn't just a cold.
I'm here today.
Hey, you know what? God is good.
Made
Go follow the Wax Show.
Shout out to Dan, though, man. He understands. Nothing wrong with a little extra flavor.
You know what? Let's go on. Let's go ahead.
Let's
and
move on.
Okay,
Yeah, let's move on.
this
That's
is
wicked. That's
conversation.
wicked work.
There's a conversation Stone and I need to have that affiliate.
Sorry, sports fans. My bad. We got a little off track. You know. Sorry.
That's wicked.
My mind is blown. Okay, let's talk about another future Hall of Famer. Chris Paul was released by the Clippers today after wanting to go on his farewell tour. He announced a few days ago, maybe it was a week ago, that this will be his last season in the NBA. And so he wanted to spend it with the team that he had a lot of success with, that being the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, the Los Angeles Clippers apparently had different ideas because they walked in, they had Chris Paul. They say, Chris Paul, like, ACP, can you come and step into my office for a few minutes? He said, yeah, no problem.
I think they just sent them a text.
So, what? Hey, you know what? That's some stuff that Steve Ballmer, I feel like he would do. Anyway, Steve Ballmer, a great guy. I think. I don't know. But he said, CP, come on, step into my office. I say, you know what? You've been great. We loved having you. He said, loved? What past tense? What you mean loved? And then they expressed the news to him that they were letting him go. They were releasing him, letting him free his wings out into the free agency world. Tone.
So, bro, he needed some fresh air. That's
a little fresh. So let's step outside for a second. You can take out the days off you want to, actually. Did they do CP wrong? Did they do my dog wrong, Tone? I mean, like, for him to go on his farewell tour, and want to be a part of, just whatever is going on in LA with the Clippers. Did they do him wrong?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a business. So at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for the business. But what do you call them, Lo? What you call that team? Activities? What you call them?
The unction.
Yeah, the unction. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Part of that, you know what I mean?
I just don't I personally didn't understand why they were bringing him in. That's crazy. Hold on, bro. Why?
That wasn't nice. That wasn't nice, D-Lo. You need to apologize.
My bad, Tom. My bad.
That wasn't nice,
That's low. That's low, Lo.
My bad.
Tone's making a great point, dog, and he's interrupted by me.
My bad.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Tone, haters gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? Haters gonna hate.
Yeah,
you were just laughing. You were just laughing.
You mind you
literally was just laughing. Yeah.
Nobody laughed. Mind you been.
Bam's in green. We're gonna have the last laugh.
Yeah, all right. The green he'll be in is Milwaukee, not Boston.
Jason Tatum to Milwaukee.
Ooh.
You know what? Let's get a 3-team trade and send Jason Tatum to the Heat, and you can get Bam on the Celtics. You can have Giannis, whoever, but we can get JT on the Heat, and that'd be cool.
Not gonna happen. But yeah, I just don't understand why they even brought him in the first place. Like, why would you do him a favor to do him another favor? You know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't make any sense to me. But at the same time, again, like I started, it's a business, and they're having success with him not playing. James Harden he's doing something special in LA right now. He's been hooping. And so I also think that CP brings a certain attitude to certain organizations, and it's not appeasing to everyone, honestly. he had issues when it was him and Westbrook. Yeah, like there was always. I mean, sorry, who was it? It was everyone that he's been paired with.
I mean,
Honestly.
James Harden, yeah.
Yeah, James Harden. He's ruffled some feathers. He likes the organization to be ran in a certain fashion, and not everyone is on board. But I think that it's probably what's best for the Clippers. It does look bad, in hindsight that they brought him in the first place to just kick him to the curb. As you as an organization, you want to look like you treat the players in the right way, and especially a player who's had as much success as CP3 has had in a Clippers uniform. For you to see him get treated like this at the end of his career, you're like, damn, that's how y'all doing, folks. But at the same time, like I started, business will always be business. So, yeah, I wish him the best, though. It would have never happened to Rondo. I just want to end it with that.
Yeah, well, one of them is the first ballot Hall of Famer, one of them's not. So,
oh, you know what else one of them got? Multiple rings.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Rondo is a Hall of Famer. So
he's a Hall of Famer. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's gonna take a few ballots for him to get on.
Hey, multiple rings.
It's all right. Rondo couldn't hold Chris Paul's jockstrap in his prime.
Multiple rings.
Also, Papadano coming in with the jokes today. He said, "Let MCP go before Christmas." It's like the Grinch cleaning out Whoville. Nasty work. D'Lo, yeah. Why do the Clippers do Chris Paul like this now? And you see the reports of Chris Paul not having a speaking relationship with Ty Lue for the past 3 weeks. What's your reaction?
I think the Clippers are just in panic mode. They suck. They suck. And it is what it is. They are at the bottom of the barrel in the West. They are sitting at 5-16. And the reason that they're panicking is because they don't own the rights to their first round draft pick. The Thunder own the rights to that swap. And so I think for them, they have realized that they're a sorry franchise. It's just what it is. They are a sorry franchise. And this was just another act in that narrative. This was very classless by Steve Ballmer, by Ty Lue. He wanted to finish his career there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And now you send him home. They say that they're working on an option for him, but what is the option? I mean, who is taking a 40-year-old Chris Paul? So I don't like this at all. But again, they're panicking. Kawhi isn't playing games. James Harden is now missing some time. Even when both of them are on the floor, they can't find a way to win games. It's just tough. They're spiraling. And the thing is that it won't be the last year because they also don't own their 2027 pick. OKC has the swap right to that too. So
they don't own their own first round pick until 2030.
So I mean, if you're just the Clippers, I think that they're in the running for the Boozer twin. They're in the running for it, and they're number one. And they're number one. It's insane.
I completely agree with both of you guys. This was to steal a word from D'Lo, classless. This was I'll come up with my own word, pathetic. To do this to a guy that brought you a lot of success, you being the Los Angeles Clippers. Chris Paul is a legend. Chris Paul has done wonders for this game of basketball. He's been amazing. And the thing is, here's the thing that really, tickles my toes. I don't know if that's a saying, but I'm going to go with it. They're not going to win anything with Chris Paul. They're not going to win anything without Chris Paul. Why? Why get rid of him? What difference does it make? It makes no difference. Now you look bad as an organization because you're releasing one of the most important people in your franchise history. And so I don't understand now. Is he gonna play another minute of NBA basketball? I don't know. Now, me, I'd love to see him in OKC. They don't need him. Just have him sit on the bench. Just have him sit on the bench, and when
reunite with Shea.
What? They're blowing out every other team.
Possibly get a ring.
Possibly get a ring. They're blowing out every other team. And so when they're blowing out a team, God, throw them in there for 3 minutes. Let them go get some.
21-0. They lost to the damn
Trailblazers. And they probably shouldn't even lost that game.
They shouldn't have.
What the Clippers did to the Chris Paul was absolutely just pathetic. It was unnecessary. It's almost like embarrassing to both. They're embarrassing Chris Paul by releasing him, and they're embarrassing themselves by releasing, again, one of the more memorable guys in their franchise history. And it's, a guy that's probably going to get his jersey retired.
No problem about that. No, probably. It will be in LA Raptors.
It should be, but now this worries me because if you're willing to release him, I don't know, man. I don't know. Papa Dano's would be a good time for a casino owner to snap up an NBA team and move them to Vegas. Could get them at a bargain price. They could, man. And I think honestly, the NBA's. Not the NBA, but once LeBron retires, I think he's gonna get an NBA team and move them to Vegas. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but I think that's what's gonna happen. But let's talk some football really quickly. Let's talk some football for a few minutes. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are 6-6 and currently are out of a playoff spot. They are not in the playoffs right now.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
What
did you say?
Not in the playoffs right now.
The Kansas City Chiefs are not in the playoffs.
I know somebody that wouldn't have happened to.
Can tell.
Yo.
I know somebody that got destroyed by the Titans.
And that's cool and all, but I hate the Patriots just as much as I hate the Chiefs.
But speaking of which, now I still fully believe they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make a run. I think they're going to. Patrick Mahomes is going to do what he does, and he's going to go win games. They're going to beat Houston this Sunday. I still fully believe. But in the slim chance that they do not make the playoffs, D'Lo, would this taint Patrick Mahomes' legacy? Would there be a big, nasty mark on the legacy that is Patrick Mahomes after making 7 straight AFC championships, after making 5 Super Bowl appearances, after being Super Bowl champions for 3 times? Would this put a stain on his legacy after all those awards and then to not make the playoffs?
Well, firstly, I just want to start by saying that I don't think the Chiefs make the playoffs. They have to win out, and even if they win out, they have special circumstances that just need to happen, and I just don't know if they happen. With that said, I don't think that this affects him all that much, to be honest. When you look at it, Tom Brady, who who me and Tone consider the GOAT, he has some stains on his legacy, and those stains defined him for a while. And then he came back and he won more Super Bowls. He got to more AFC championship games. And then, those are still there. They're just not as noticeable as they were. And so I think this is one of those. He'll miss the playoffs or he'll make it and he gets as far as he gets. I don't really know, but if it's not an AFC championship game, people are going to look and say, wow, that's not what we expect. But if he bounces back from that, he'll be fine. I don't see this as a legacy defining moment. Because what else does he have to prove? He's got MVP, he's got Super Bowl MVP, he's got Super Bowls, he's got AFC championship games. I losing 1 year isn't going to make a whole lot of difference for him.
Tone, obviously, you being the Brady stan that you are, being the Patriots fan that you are, do you believe that Patrick Mahomes not making the playoffs would stain his legacy? Do you think people would look at him a little bit differently?
No, I think it would give argument for, I guess, people like myself who want to battle against Mahomes being the GOAT, the homeboy. But I think that people who are already fans of Mahomes, it wouldn't really change their mind at all. Like Lo said, you're allowed to have a bad year or two as long as you can turn it around and get back to the success that you were having. But I will say this is we had this conversation last year about Kelsey, and was it time for him to retire or move on? He's having a hell of a year. So for him to have a hell of a year and Patty to be playing the way he's now, I'm not trying to say Patty's not playing well, but he's been throwing some picks. He's been making some bad decisions in the later parts of the game where he's not usually that bad at that point of the game. He's usually the person that is going to get it done. And so I will say that it doesn't look good because I think that some feel as though this was a year where he could have made a mark in the other direction, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, if he were to have the success that he's used to having, this would have made that GOAT argument really different because he has established himself in that conversation. Like, he's one of the guys that you mentioned with Montana, with Brady, like with Aaron Rodgers. Even though Aaron Rodgers doesn't have any many chips, we all know Aaron Rodgers was a hell of a thrower of that football.
Peyton,
he's one of those guys. And this just seems like it's almost a bit of his fault. Like sometimes you can say it's the team's fault, the coach's fault, the line, not having the receivers that he needs. This seems like it's a little bit more on the homeboy than it should be, which is unfortunate. But again, I think that he'll find a way to turn it around. And he'll get back to being himself. But yeah, I don't usually watch a lot of Chiefs games, but watching them, I'm looking at him like, hey, shout out to him for making Tommy look great today.
I obviously, if you watch the show, if you are a fan of this show, you are familiar with who my favorite football player is, and that is Patrick Mahomes. This year, obviously, him and the Kansas City Chiefs are struggling. Like I said, I still believe that they are going to make the playoffs. I think one of these teams, they still have the Chargers are ahead of them. They still have the Chargers once. They still have the Broncos once. And so now those are tough teams. But again, these are the Kansas City Chiefs we're talking about. So they're tough games just as much for the Chiefs or for the Chargers and the Broncos than they are for the Chiefs. Now, if they were not to make the playoffs this year, Patrick Mahomes is having a very good year. And Tone, like you mentioned, Travis Kelce is having a much better year than I anticipated him to have. He might actually get, he has 5 games left to get 280 yards. So like he might actually get 1,000 yards this season. So he's played a lot better than I thought he'd play. But I think a lot of the a lot of the attention, because Patrick Mahomes has had a good year. It's not like he's had a horrible year. He's 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Now that turnover is a little high. I think that the turnovers need to come down a little bit. But I think a lot of the eyes go to, as much as I love him, Big Red, Andy Reid. Because a lot of the times these successful teams, they need to have a run game. They have to have a run game. Patrick Mahomes is second on the team in rushing. Patrick Mahomes is second on the Kansas City Chiefs in rushing the football. He has 348 yards. Kareem Hunt has 515. They can't run the ball. He was out his number one receiver for the first 6 games of the season. His number 2 receiver got hurt not even a game into the season. And the defense can't stop anybody. And this is just proving, as much as I like to preach and as much as I love Patrick Mahomes and love to watch him play and think how great he is, he cannot do it on his own. He has to have some sort of help, whether it's a run game, whether it's a defense, whether it's healthy receivers. He has to have some sort of help. And Andy Reid is starting to look a little washed, if you ask me. A little bit. Now, again, am I going to look at Patrick Mahomes differently? No, but it's not a great look. Tony, you mentioned it's not a great look that he misses the playoffs. Now, I understand the division got a lot better with the Chargers and the Broncos. That's tough. But I expect greatness from Patrick Mahomes and nothing less. And the Chiefs haven't been that this year.
So, Mo, you think that the Chiefs obviously make the playoffs? Obviously, 2 of their final 5 games are pretty much gimmies in the Titans and the Raiders.
Yep.
But do you think that they go 3-0 against these teams that are, well, one that's playing really well in the defense? Obviously, this week versus the Texans, their defense is scorching right now. But then against 2 teams that they've already lost to this year in the Chargers and the Broncos, they lost to both of them already this year. You think they beat all 5 of them to somehow squeak their way?
100%. Those 3 games, D-Lo, a big reason why those 3 games, all of them at the crib, all of them at Arrowhead.
Are all at Arrowhead.
Arrowhead in December is a mother to play in. And so you bringing in CJ Stroud, who, again, I love, but has not had the greatest year.
Is he playing this week?
He is
It's not
playing.
Davis?
No, he's playing this week. So you're bringing in CJ Stroud to Arrowhead, an environment like that. You bring in Justin Herbert to Arrowhead, who just suffered an injury, and who knows if he's going to miss time. And then you bring in Bo Nix, who had a mediocre game against the Chiefs when they played in Denver. How do you think that's going to be in 35-degree, 170-mile-an-hour winds in Arrowhead? They go. I 100% believe they go 3-0 in those games and then beat the Titans and the Raiders on the road. I think that's what's going to happen. And if 1 or 2 of those games are on the road, D-Lo, Tone, my tone might be a little different.
You not nervous with them lacking the running game?
No.
In that type of weather?
I think no. I think they'll be able to run the ball enough. I think if they're able to run the ball enough to open up the play action, to open up Rashee Rice down the field, Hollywood Brown down the field, Xavier Worthy down the field, and if Travis Kelce is able to do his little thing, get open for Patty Mahomes, I think they'll be okay.
My problem isn't the offense of those teams. My problem is the defense, and in particular, the 2 that, one of them being, the best in the league, and the Broncos. They have been tremendous all year, even though their offense has sucked. They're still 10-2 because of that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Texans, who are really, really hot right now. Those are the worry games. I think that they could beat the Chargers just fine, but it's the other 2 that I'm kind of iffy on, where I'm sitting here like, understand this is in Arrowhead. I understand that they play well here in December, the cold, yada yada. And they get past those defenses with the offense that they're running now. I don't know.
To be honest, D-Lo, Bo Nix is gonna have to show me. Because if he can go into Arrowhead in the middle of December when the games matter most, especially because that game is the second to last week, which means if the Chiefs do go 3-0 going into that game, pressure's going to be on. The pressure's going to be on. That's all. That game is also on national television. So Bo Nix is going to have to show me that he can live up to the moment going up against Patrick Mahomes. And so, again, I just don't believe it. Now, I will gladly come on here after that game and say, oh, I was wrong.
Hold on, let me write this down.
Well, see, there you go. See, there you go. But I don't know, man. I think they're gonna go 5-0 to close out the season, and then they're gonna go into the playoffs scorching hot. Papadano says the reason the Patriots were so good all them years is because Robert Kraft stood firm on the ground that if it's not broke, don't fix it. He had Brady as the core and built good players around him. Again, that's what good owners do. That's what great owners do. Robert Kraft is a fantastic owner. There's a reason why he won 6 championships. And again, he said year after year, which equaled success. That's what happens. When you have an owner that wants to go win, that's what happens. I'm looking for that right now as we speak.
And the Chiefs haven't done that. They, obviously 7 years now, but eventually the wheels fall off, and this might be the fall off. They might have to rebrand after this.
They might. I mean, the other thing that worries me is Josh Simmons is going to be out a while. He's going to be out the next 4 games. They're starting left tackle. That worries me a little bit. That offensive line has already been shaky, but Josh Simmons being out for the next at least 4 weeks worries me a little bit. Okay. Let's see what's next here. Let's talk about Dylan Brooks and the Phoenix Suns. Now, the Dylan Brooks went
that's the name you mentioned?
Yeah.
Not the other DB?
Yeah. Let's talk about Colin Gillespie and the Phoenix Suns.
Boy, he got a clip, don't he?
Talk about Colin Gillespie and the Phoenix Suns.
But hold on, Dylan Brooks been balling though.
He has.
Yeah.
Oh, he has.
But
let's talk about Colin Gillespie.
But this is specifically about Dylan Brooks.
All right.
So it's the only exception. Dylan Brooks and the Suns obviously went into Los Angeles, went into Crypto.com Arena and had their way with the Lakers. Had Lakers healthy and all. They had Bron, they had Luka, they had DeAndre Ayton, they had everybody, and just couldn't keep up with the Suns.
Don't forget that new All-Star. Don't just skip by his name.
Let me see you do it in the playoffs.
He's not an all-star.
Let me see you do it in the playoffs.
He can. He's averaging 28 points. How you not gonna be all-star?
He's not an all-star.
If he keeps it up, he's
a top 4 team in the West.
He's not an all-star.
He played some good basketball. But so they went in there, had their way with the Lakers. JJ Redick obviously was not happy. LeBron did not play well whatsoever. He barely scratched that 10-point record mark that he is keep going. I do want to hold on. We gotta talk a little basketball. We gotta talk a little hoops. We talked about a bunch of Giannis. Also, don't nobody want to talk about them nasty Cowboys. It's okay. I got to give them credit. They went and beat my dog Patrick Mahomes on Thanksgiving in Jerry World. I got to give them credit. I'll give them credit. They went and played well. Dak looked good. George Pickens looked good. CD looked good. The defense looked okay. They still got, thrown all over the field, but they look pretty good.
Perfect timing for them to have success. Just for time for them to flop it away.
Oh, they're going to fall in their face. That was going to be amazing.
Sure.
The Cowboys way.
Dylan Brooks after the game, he said, obviously we know the history that Dylan Brooks and LeBron have going back to the Lakers and Grizzlies series a few years back, in which Dylan Brooks said that I poke bears being LeBron James. And now he also went out and said recently that the last time he lacked confidence was in that same series when he was in Memphis playing against the Los Angeles Lakers. He went and said after the game on Monday, he was asked if he thinks LeBron takes his trash talk personally. He says if he takes any offense to it. And he said, and I quote, let me paraphrase. I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit, but he said, LeBron likes people that bow down. I don't bow down. Now, we know Dylan Brooks and we know his history in the league. D'Lo, do you take, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Dylan Brooks is poking the bear that is LeBron James, or do you like this from Dylan Brooks? Do you like this confidence that he's built?
I just want to shout out Colin Gillespie real quick. I'm a huge fan of his game. I'm not gonna lie.
Look at that.
Shout out Colin Gillespie.
Little son's praise on the show. I love it. Little son's praise. Great. It's just a great game.
Yo, Lo, blink twice if you need help.
But no, I mean, I don't have a problem. This is just who Dylan Brooks is. I don't see any problem with this comment. I don't think there's no poking the bear. Because this, like you mentioned, Maul, this is Luka's team now. LeBron isn't gonna suddenly pop off for a 40-point triple-double every game just because Dylan Brooks said something. It's just not gonna happen. It's still very much this is a Luka team. I think LeBron is strictly struggling, trying to find his way and fitting in with what they're trying to do. And so I think that's just an issue for him. He's always had the ball in his hand. His whole career, he's had the ball in his hands. And so I think this is something new for him that he's not used to and he's trying to navigate. But again, with that said, I think that Dylan Brooks is just Dylan Brooks. This is who he is. And I think he's playing well enough to back it up. I think with how he played, he's allowed to talk. So, yeah, then I'm going to end with shout out Colin Gillespie.
Okay. I love Colin Gillespie, D-Lo. Don't make me hate him. Don't make me start disliking Colin Gillespie because you wanna have your little moment with you and you know what? I don't even know if I'll get in trouble for saying
All right, fuck Colin Gillespie then. Yeah, his sons suck.
Okay. Well, that hurt a little. That was a little.
Yeah, you want me to go back to praising Colin Gillespie?
A little too far on the end of the other spectrum.
Yeah, which way do you want me to go?
You know what? Go back to the Colin Gillespie love. Go back.
Shout out Colin Gillespie.
I'll take it. Also, real quick, Tom, before we get your thoughts on this, hey, Papa Dano, let him know. OH went into Michigan. Went into Ann Arbor. BTA.
This man got 17 teams. It's crazy.
Hey, hold on now. What did I say the other day? Ann Arbor, A. Barber, Dog Collar, Ohio State back-to-back natties. Hey, shout out Julian Sand, shout out CJ Donaldson, shout out Bo Jackson, shout out Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Alvel Reese, Caden Curry, Caleb Downs.
But the thing is whatever.
I'm an Ohio State fan up and down.
Yeah, but Maul he's never been to Ohio. He has never been to Ohio.
Whoa. My favorite collegiate football player was Terrell Pryor.
Okay, that's fine. You've never been to Ohio.
Whoa.
He has the right to say that because he's from Ohio.
That's okay. Me and Papa Dano, we go to Columbus and watch a game.
Oh my God. Here we go.
We go to Columbus. Hey, Papa, let him know.
This man.
Let him know. He ain't
never
let him know.
New York. He ain't never been to Kansas City.
Okay, but those ain't my main teams though. My main college football team is Ohio State.
And you've never been to
Hey, I'm not hearing none of this because Kevin come on here and Tone don't ever say nothing about Kevin not being
That's the way the conversation. That's what started the conversation. Is I asked Kevin if he had been there.
He's never been.
What about Kyson? What about Kyson from Louisiana? He a Raven fan and a Houston Rockies fan.
Yeah, that's nasty work.
Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing. OHIO.
Man, just throwing everybody else under the bus because he's
everybody. I'm dragging you. I'm dragging y'all on. Come on, you coming with me? Everybody. OH.
Nah.
Anyways, moving on.
Anyways,
shout out Colin Gillespie.
Shout out Colin.
Just want to say that this is where I was born and raised.
That is where in West Philadelphia. Anyways, no, wrong show. All right.
Wrong city.
Oh,
wrong
show. No.
Okay,
Tone. When you look at the comments that Dylan Brooks made, do you think this is good or bad idea for him to make these comments? And I also want you, if you can say if did the Lakers get exposed? Did the Lakers get exposed in the way that they lost to the Suns? Now, again, I understand they only have 5 losses on the year, but did the Suns give out the blueprint to beat the Los Angeles Lakers? And did Dylan Brooks mess up by saying what he said?
I'll start with the Dylan Brooks mess up. No, I think it's perfect timing when you know, in sports, it's almost like the opposite of life. You want to beat the dog while he's down. It's part of the mental game that you play. And LeBron and the rest of the Lakers kind of they were hurt that day. Like Luka was the real reason why they lost that game. I think he had 7 or 8 turnovers that game.
9.
Nine.
Tied a career high.
Yeah, but there's a reason why he also had those turnovers. Dylan Brooks is a two-way player. He just happens to be getting buckets at this moment. Like he's getting buckets. He's scoring damn near at will. It was interesting because we started off a couple pods talking about Dylan Brooks and how he was shooting the basketball more than Devin Booker, but now it's leading to success. So it's fortunate, but no, I think it's perfect timing. You know, for someone like himself, he's proven himself. Like, why not? Why not talk your trash? I will say it'll suck if they happen to meet the Lakers in the playoffs and LeBron happens to have some type of big games.
Oh boy,
that would suck. But for right now, enjoy the limelight. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, again, I think that one was on again. Like Lowell stated, this is not LeBron's team anymore. He's not even supposed to, like. I will say that he has to figure out how to be a leader without being the leading scorer. He's used to being the leading scorer, and so that's kind of how he leads. He needs to be more the OG on the team now, and part of that is knowing when to laugh with the opposing team or do whatever he was doing. You can't do that down 20. That's just not a good look. You know what I'm saying? But I think I said this last year. LeBron doesn't look like he cares anymore. He doesn't look like he cares about the game the way he used to care. I feel like this is all a part of his story, good or bad. But the NBA is, they played around. They had the gambling story that they kind of swept under the rug. So as it goes, LeBron don't think the players don't know more than we do. And sometimes if you go to work and you hear about the scandal, you're like, yeah, hey, I'm here to just get my check. I got to go home. I don't care about what y'all got going on. That's what the people above me deal with. And so, LeBron seems like he's not all there. Hopefully there's something that brings him back in because it would be dope to see the Lakers actually compete later in the year.
Speak for yourself, brother. I think you should speak for yourself.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But I'm just saying, as like a basketball fan, the Lakers are one of those organizations. You know what I'm saying? They're and Luka's a hell of a player. He's figured. It looks like he's lost the weight. He's figured out a way to be successful, and on and off the court. Health wise as well. He's not holding up the beers mid game. And AR's looking like. Again, he's looking like an all-star. Lowe said he's not an all-star, but he's looking like an all-star. If he can keep this up, whoa. But it'll be interesting, man. I know Maul's waiting for DeAndre Ayton to trip and fall.
Matter of time.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think it's perfect timing for D Brooks to clown Braun because, they're due for a slump, though. When you look at that team, they're due. They're having so much success. They're due for a 4 or 5 game skid, and then we'll see what they're really about.
Come on, Happy. Shout out Colin Gillespie.
It's got a lot of pie hole action going over there. You got a lot of. No, okay. I will say, I love that Dylan Brooks said this. I love it. Dylan Brooks is my spirit basketball player. He's my spirit animal. Dylan Brooks is what I would be, at least my attitude in the NBA for the most part. Off the court, I can't really defend too much. On the court, that's who I would be in the NBA. And
you look like you'd wear some of those outfits.
No, off the court. No, see, there you go. See, there you go. You looking at that man outfit. I ain't got nothing to do with me. On the basketball court, oh yeah, that's who I am. Off the basketball court, I ain't got nothing to do with me, brother. I love that he said this, which means because him saying that means his confidence is an all-time high, and we're gonna need that so badly now that Devin Booker is going to be out at least a week with this groin strain that he suffered on Monday against the Lakers. But in terms of the Lakers, that looks like a blueprint to go beat the Lakers, because if you're able to turn them over, and I mean, obviously Luka had 9 turnovers, which is an anomaly. He's not going to turn the ball over 9 times every night. But if you're able to turn them over and you're able to get in transition, because if you can outrun this team, the Lakers, that is, you can beat them. If you can outrun the Lakers, you will beat them. This is a half-court team. This is not a fast-paced team. They're not the youngest team in the world. If you can outrun them, if you can outwork them, you will beat this team. This team is supremely talented. The Lakers are supremely talented. They have Luka Doncic. They have Austin Reeves. They have DeAndre Ayton. They have LeBron. They have all these guys, Rui Hachimura. They have all these guys who are supremely talented. But if you work harder than them, if you turn them over, if you get out in transition, if you get the ball and go, you can beat this. You can beat this basketball team. You really can. And the other thing is, there is one consistent piece right now on this Lakers team. There's one consistent piece, and that piece is Luka Doncic. You know what he's going to give you every night. He's going to give you 35. He's going to give you 7 boards, 8 assists. He's going to give you those numbers every single night in and night out. But is there another consistent piece on this team?
Nope.
I don't think so. Really don't. Now, pop it down. No. Again, he came with the jokes today. He said LeBron used to drive Miss Daisy, and now he is Miss Daisy sitting in the back seat. It's true. It really is true. This is Luka Doncic's team. Luka Doncic is the best basketball player on this team, without a doubt. Okay, speaking of LeBron, now I know we're like running short on time, but I did want to talk about this at least for a little bit, for a few minutes. We don't have to spend too much time on it because this might be a hot take. This might not be a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take, but we'll see what you guys think. I saw something on the internet a few days ago, and it was somebody reacting to a hot take or a hot take. The hot take was Stephen Curry has changed the game more than LeBron ever has. Again, I don't believe this is a hot take. Tone, again, in all seriousness, you've been watching the game a lot longer than we have. So you got to watch Steph and LeBron, both for as long as they've been in the league. Do you believe this is a hot take? Do you think Steph has changed the game more than LeBron has, or do you think that is astronomically wrong?
No, especially from a fan standpoint, it's easier to identify with Stephen Curry than it is to identify with LeBron James. LeBron's 6'9", 240, 250, whatever he is, and Steph Curry's 6'3", 200 pounds maybe. So it's, as from a fan standpoint, it's a lot easier. And Steph Curry's shooting the ball as far as being uber athletic, dunking over people and stuff like that. It's a lot easier to identify with Steph. And then I think just from a game standpoint, yeah, it's interesting because there were players before him that were shooting threes at a high caliber. Steph just enabled everyone to change the game. For we've never seen this many small forwards and power forwards shooting the basketball like he's shooting the basketball. He's having a rough year this year, but I do agree with that statement. But I mean, to a certain extent, you could say the same thing about Allen Iverson and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. But when Allen Iverson came out, people wanted to wear the sweatband. People wanted to do the crossover. People wanted to be AI. I did not see a lot of people shaving their heads when I was in high school. People weren't just going bald because Michael Jordan went bald. and Mike was the GOAT. And so I don't think that statement changes anything about where they are in the rankings or anything like that. I think that just speaks to how you can connect with Steph Curry. And I mean, I also think, and not to be political about it, but I don't think people really see Steph Curry as a particular. It's crazy, but they don't see him as black. Like they don't see him as like they don't. People see LeBron as a black man. Now Steph Curry is a black man, but people just don't see it. He's fairly light skinned. He's not as vocal about social situations as LeBron has been, and so that keeps him in that safe space. But as far as his game, again, like kids can shoot the ball, kids can't dunk, and so you start shooting the ball, and you're like, yeah, I'm Steph. I mean, I think we still all say Kobe though when we shoot that piece of paper.
That'll never change.
Oh, you never said that one?
No, I said that'll never change.
Yeah,
It's always gonna be Kobe.
you know what I'm saying? And again, Kobe didn't really make us want to wear the arm sleeve. That was AI. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think that matters where you rank. It's more or less how you connect with a particular player. And Steph has done that. He's an amazing shooter. But I will say that it's unfortunate that everyone wants to be like Steph because he's from a different planet. He's in a room of his own the way he can shoot the basketball, man.
Gio, what do you think? You think this is a hot take, or do you think this is just accurate?
Repeat the take for me one more time.
Stephen Curry has changed the game of basketball more than LeBron ever has.
From that particular standpoint, I agree. I 100% agree with that statement. The thing is that prior to Steph being Steph, the league was kind of already on that upward trajectory of 3-point shooting. So I'm not going to say he, just completely was the one for this 3-point revolution. He definitely accelerated it by at least 5 or 10 years. And I think the biggest key in that is that there are players who will be wide open in the paint and will not dunk the basketball and will kick it out for a semi-open three. That's the Steph Curry effect. That's what it is. He has valued the three ball so much that 2 points is just not enough anymore, even when it is wide open. And to me, that change alone signifies that he just has a bigger impact specifically on how the game is played than LeBron does. I don't think LeBron has done anything super impactful in terms of the way that basketball is played, because in the same way that we say, Steph is tiers above what kids want to be like him, there will be one LeBron. I don't know if we'll ever see a unicorn of unicorns like LeBron again.
No.
And the thing is that I think that there may be a shooter at some point who can be in the somewhat realm
Right now
of Steph. I do. I think that that's possible.
Con right now is shooting a clip the way he can catch up to Steph.
Who is?
Con Canupo.
Shout out Colin
It's
Gillespie.
early, man. It's early. At first, I thought he said Colin, but no, it's early.
Shooting the clip.
Yes, I agree.
Have not seen from it. We haven't seen since Steph, and you got to remember what Lo just mentioned. Like before Steph became Steph, what we know him as, he was going through injuries, so he had several years to where he wasn't. That boy Con is coming in as a rookie, clipping.
Yeah. So I mean, It's just like I think that in terms of the question and how the statement is phrased, yes, I think that Steph has a bigger impact on how basketball is played, especially in today's era where threes are just more valuable. That's just how it is. Um, Now there will be no one in the near future, maybe it's Con Kneppel. I think it's too early to tell. That will replicate the success that Steph does it at. And that is what makes Steph one of one at the moment. With that said, I don't think that LeBron has done anything like that for the game and just how it's played. He is just really good at everything instead of being specialized in one thing, that it changes how everything is played. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think when it comes to this conversation, first of all, I agree with both of you. I think this statement is absolutely correct. There's nothing hot about this take. I will also say, outside of Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson, I think Stephen Curry has been the most impactful player in the history of basketball. I really think he has. I think he's changed the game more than anybody else outside of those two guys. Now, again, I've made this point on here multiple times. Tone, you've mentioned that Allen Iverson is your GOAT. Kevin Durant is my GOAT. And I don't think Kevin Durant is too far behind Steph Curry in terms of the impact he's had on the game of basketball. But aside from that, Stephen Curry, like you guys mentioned, he's made the tool, the two-pointer, a thing. You can get 2 points, but I mean, you really want 3 points. He's kind of changed that completely. Like you mentioned, D'Lo, there's been people who have had wide open layups to pull up and shoot a three. Not only that, the distance in which he shoots the three. Like, he has now influenced people to cross half court and immediately, as soon as you cross half court, shoot it. Not everybody has that ability. Steph Curry is one of one.
There's two. There's two that have that ability.
Dame
Dollar.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but outside the NBA, I'm talking about like just people playing basketball, just like the sport of basketball. Now, when you talk about the NBA, you talk about the Dame Lillards, you talk about the Trae Young, you talk about, I believe, Trae Young's in that conversation, and he absolutely is.
He doesn't shoot it efficiently enough to be in that conversation.
Fair, but I personally would throw Jordan Poole in that conversation. But again, the fact that these conversations are even able to be had is because of Steph Curry. And LeBron, he hasn't, again, the success he has, to Tone's point, this doesn't put Steph Curry above LeBron or above Michael Jordan or Kobe or whoever it is. It doesn't put them above those other guys, but it does in terms of the impact he's had on the game of basketball, puts him above those guys, absolutely. And so what he's been able to do, and what the success that he's had in being able to win multiple rings, win multiple MVPs, the first ever and only ever unanimous MVP. It's incredible what he's been able to do at 6'3". He's not the biggest guy, the fastest guy, the strongest guy, the most athletic guy, but he is the best shooter, and that's undeniable.
With that said, I think there's one guy currently who's kind of destroying that narrative that threes are better than twos, and it's that MVP out in OKC. He does not shoot a lot of them, and he mainly plays in the mid-range. And look at what they're doing. They're destroying everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that Shea has the potential to destroy that narrative that, hey, maybe the two is back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not to the degree like it was before,
mm-hmm.
but definitely to the point where, hey, maybe as a team, we should probably start taking a little more of these if they're there.
I mean, you look at the guys like the SGAs, like the Anthony Edwards, like the Kevin Durant's, like the Devin Bookers, like the DeMar DeRozans, like these guys who live in the mid-range. That's where they make their money. And the Brandon Ingrams, that's where these people make their money. And so maybe they're kind of bringing it back, but obviously the three, as far as it goes right now, I think it's still superior.
It is.
So, but that is going to close out the show. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching live, Papa Dano, I know a couple other people were watching, man. Appreciate y'all. People who are watching on demand after the live stream. Appreciate you guys. Once again, go subscribe to the Wax Show.
Subscribe everywhere. Like, comment, subscribe everywhere.
Perfectly said, Tom. Perfectly so. Perfectly said. Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, whatever it is. Go subscribe, go follow, go like, go comment. Tone's Instagram, go follow him. Wave_Marley on X, on Instagram. I believe it's the same thing on TikTok.
I think so, yeah.
TikTok, yeah. D-Lo, same thing. No love_D-Lo on Instagram, TikTok. What is your Twitter account, D-Lo? I don't know if I have you on Twitter.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. No love_D-Lo on Twitter.
Pretty sure. It might not be. Who knows?
Yeah, send all a message everywhere but Twitter because he doesn't check his Twitter messages.
Okay. Although I have been opening them recently. Kind of, sort of, a little bit. I don't know. But yes, again, shout out my fellas right here, my dogs right here, man. Tone, Triple OG, the wise man, Tone in the building. My dog David Largo, D-Lo, aka host D-Lo in the building.
Shout out Colin Gillespie.
Shout out Colin Gillespie. I love this. This is amazing. Shout out Colin Gillespie. Shout out Dylan Brooks, and of course, Devin Booker. And so that's gonna close out this show.
And just prayed to Devin Booker.
Hey, listen, you know what?
It's wild. It's crazy.
Nobody else
praying to a man that's not Jesus. Hello.
Wait, listen, you guys said it. I didn't say it. You guys said it. I didn't say it. Anyways.
Hey, you see what's around my neck.
Listen, I'm a man of faith. Don't get me wrong. I'm a man of faith.
Yeah, and you're praying to a man that isn't him. And that's crazy. And it is.
Here's the hierarchy in terms of the ultimate people. It is God, it is my father, it is Larry Fitzgerald, and then it's Devin Booker.
Goodness gracious.
I'm just that's how the world goes around. That's how the world go around.
Hey, listen, as long as he didn't say my homeboy, we're out of here.
Damn, I did forget about Mahomes.
Yes.
He's under. He's
after Kyle Murray.
Yeah, no. You got to be at least 6 feet tall for you to be on that list. So
that's crazy. Tone's on that list?
No. We're gonna
everybody go follow the Wax Show. This is the type of content you'll get on the Wax Show.
I'm gonna put all of the Wax Show links in the comment section. Please go sub. There is going to be an episode out soon, and there also is going to be wave episodes coming out as well. So be on the lookout. We're just expanding. We're expanding the brand, boys. We're expanding the brand. We're getting better. We're getting bigger every single day. And wow, that was crazy.
Hey,
Trying to ignore it.
Nobody else is gonna tell you I love you. You matter. You have value. You wake up this morning. You have purpose. All you got to do is go find it. Also, tell your loved ones that you love them. Just go and do that. Can you do me a favor? Go ahead and tell your loved ones that you love them. Other than that, as always, it's nice to be important, but it's much important to be nice. Now, Dano, real quick, just remember when you heard it from a few weeks back, Cowboys win the NFC East. No. And D-Lo called you delusional. No, it's still delusional.
Delusional. Yeah.
Cowboys will not win the NFC East.
They won't.
No. And I think that's a great note to end the show on, boys.
Yeah, Dak sucks.
Yeah.
We got to.
Peace.